Firstly, what are the 3 things your time in the military has taught you about successful leadership?
There's a lot of lessons to be learned about leadership in the military, and it's tough to think of just 3. But I'll give you 3 in no particular order. For me, I would say leadership starts with ego, and by that, controlling your ego. I would actually say that ego is the antithesis of good leadership, because what ends up happening is you're thinking about yourself, and you become very attached to things that you personally have had your hands on or your fingers in, and it takes away from what you should be doing as a leader, which is keeping your chin up and out and looking at the big picture and really trying to empower your people. So controlling your ego is critical if you're going to be a leader. When it comes to leadership, it's not really about the things that come out of your mouth. Even though people that work for you, if you are in a leadership position, are constantly listening to what you say, you can't hold people to a standard that you're not willing to uphold yourself. So it's the actions that you take as that leader that are critically important. If you tell people to show up early and you show up late, your integrity is compromised and your leadership ability, it's pretty much destroyed. One of the best jobs of a leader and a good mark of a leader is that they have 2 to 3 people that they're constantly training to do their job. That mentorship aspect is huge, and the best piece of advice I can give new people or people who want to be leaders is learn to think 3 to 5 steps ahead instead of just reacting to the one problem that's right in front of your face. It's the difference between playing checkers and only looking at the square in front of you, and chess, seeing the entire board that's arrayed.
What's your advice on making decisions in high-pressure situations without the ability to access people you'd like?
So there's 2 questions in that. There's how to make decisions in a high-pressure environment. Absent, the second part of that is absent the person that you're used to hearing from giving you guidance. The first part goes back to my answer on leadership. If you can think proactively instead of reactively, when a problem presents itself, you very likely have 1 or 2 or even multiple solutions in front of you that you can execute. Condensed way of saying that is make your decisions before they become a crisis. Learn how to contingency plan. Now, when it comes to making decisions absent leadership, this is where the leadership of the organization has to take the time to educate their people and enforce to them that it's okay to make a decision if the leader isn't there. As a matter of fact, when the leader's not there, maybe they have a family crisis, maybe they're sick, maybe they're task saturated and can't concentrate on what's happening, other people need to be able to step in and keep the momentum moving so the organization doesn't fail. But if you don't train your people to do those things, you shouldn't expect them to do them on their own.
You said that 0% of military planning ever goes to plan.
I said 0% of my military planning has gone to plan.
Is there any point to planning?
Planning is crucial and it's critical, and I'm going to say this in the presentation today. I'll actually ask the audience. I've been on hundreds of combat operations, and our standard planning cycle is 72 hours. We can do it in 24, but we prefer 72. And every time I've actually put my feet on the ground in a country all over the world and tried to execute one of those plans, exactly 0 of them have gone as planned. So it begs the question, what are we doing? Why do we even waste our time planning? It's about, 1, making sure you put in the requisite amount of thought. In the military, you have to present your plan to your higher headquarters, and you better have thought it through because they're going to have a bunch of questions. But most importantly, it's a chance to look for danger zones inside of your plan. And once you identify those danger zones, the real key component of planning is the contingency aspects. If nothing else, spend your time looking for the what ifs, the things that could go wrong, because those are the things that I have found from a military perspective are the difference between success and failure on the battlefield.
As someone who loves a good spreadsheet, that's good advice for me to take.
Branch diagrams. If this happens, I'm going to do this. That's how you look like a genius. Seriously, if you can make all of your decisions come down in your head to a branch diagram, and by that you have thoroughly and robustly thought through a complicated plan, there's nothing that can throw you off of your game. You're going to look like a genius in a crisis, and all you're doing is that branch diagram over and over and over again.